started, I want to say a couple of things. If you don't know much about Matthew 25 or this place, Matthew 25 is an organization that works on neighborhood revitalization, and we do that through housing, food, education. And we believe an important part of education is self-expression, right? So this is our Groundswell Youth Arts Space, is a place where we try to help foster self-expression. So there are 3 or 4 or 5 concerts a month that happen here. Often it's with bands that are kind of more garage-style bands that you might want to have earplugs for, and it's packed full of youth, and it's full of energy. Tonight's going to be a little more low-key and reflective and incredible music. So the other thing I would say about Groundswell is that this is a place that's available to the public. We try to keep it as affordable as possible. So if you ever want to rent this space for birthday parties or that kind of thing, meetings, it's available for that. And if you are connected somehow to other artists out there in the community that you think might be looking for a place where they can perform and an affordable cost, we hope that you'll have them contact us. There are brochures right out here on the counter that you can grab and check out our website, groundswell.org, and look it up and get more information. Again, thank you for being here, and I want to introduce to you Chasing Lovely. They have roots here in Cedar Rapids and connections here, but are coming all the way up from Atlanta, Georgia, and I have not gotten to hear them live, but I've listened to them on Pandora, and I'm excited to see the real deal. So let's give it up for Chasing Lovely.
Thank you so much. Hi, crew. Sound check. Always. There you go. Alright. Hello, you guys. We are Chasing Lovely. I'm Taylor. I'm her little sister, Chloe. Happy to be here. Thank you guys so much for coming out and to see our set. This show is a little different than our regular show. It's going to start off a lot like our regular show, but we're going to do the second shorter set of Christmas music, just because it's fun and it's the season, and we thought we could, so we shall. So our first set is going to be original music, but because we are doing the Christmas set second, it's going to be a little bit shortened, so we're not going to be able to play all of the songs that we usually play. So if you guys have any requests of like original songs that you're like, I will be so sad if I leave tonight and I don't hear it, please let us know sooner rather than later, because the set will fly by and then it will be over. So. Yeah, we did get a request for the first song we're gonna do, which is Sleepwalking. So that one will be played, but yeah, nothing else is guaranteed. Now. Or after this song. Yeah. And if you guys have any like questions throughout the shows, or anything you just want to say to us, the nice thing about having it be kind of intimate like this is that you guys can talk to us and we can talk to you, and it's like that. Yeah. All right. So this first song is a song about living your dreams rather than living in them. It's called Sleepwalking.
2 months, time is slipping from my fingertips. Lying in bed, wasting away. Another day's come and gone, so on repeat. And what do I got to show? That all his heart and soul, I know it's inside a dream. I let it go, dream when I was asleep. I wake up, don't do anything. inside of me. I let it go. Dream when I'm asleep. I wake up, don't do anything. Am I living when I sleepwalking? Oh, 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 caught staring at the screen, trying to escape what I feel I'm in ways that I erased, but it's never too late to wake up. What do I got to show for all these heart and soul? I know inside of me, I'll let it go. Dream when I'm asleep, I wake up, don't do anything. Am I living? Am I sleepwalking? Oh, 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 sleepwalking. Oh, 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 sleepwalking.
Alright, so were there any songs that anyone's like, I have to hear this? Yeah? Okay. That one is on the list so far. We're good to go. Good to go. Alright. So this next song is one off of our latest record. And this one was probably the one we had the most fun recording.
Oh, for sure.
Ever.
Because it had strings on
It
it.
had strings on it, it was super, super dreamy.
Oh.
So the song is basically about slow dancing with somebody that you love. It was kind of came from a fantasy, and but when we brought it into studio, we sat down with our producer, and I kind of told him this vision that I had, which is almost like a music video like vision, but I wanted to be able to portray this story that was in my head through the music. And I told him, like, okay, so the first verse, I want it to be like you're, in your living room with some candles lit and vinyl playing, and you're dancing with this person. And then by the second verse, you're kind of transporting your mind into like this smoky jazz club with the girls in the sparkly dresses, like singing in the background. And then by the end of the song, I want to be in freaking Beauty and the Beast. And like, it's just full on ball mode. I can dance with Emma Watson, like life is good, y'all. And so it was kind of fun to see that vision come to life in this song. Maybe in a music video someday.
Yeah. I just think it just really exemplifies the whole feeling that music gives me a lot of the time, is feeling like you can just be anywhere. You can be sitting in your car, you can be running with earbuds in, you can be in your room studying and doing homework. But with music, you feel like you're in this magical land, and you're totally somewhere else. So that was kind of the idea behind this song.
Lock the doors, say your mind, and I'll be yours. Place your hand around my waist, press your cheek against my face, and the slow dance. Hold me so close in your arms, dim the lights, you and I, nothing but final all night is sweet, take my hand and we'll dance the night away.
mind. Trace the curve of my spine with every step. You move my soul in a whisper, never let me go. And we slow days, hold me so close in your arms. In the night, don't even mind. Oh, night is sweet, take my hand and we'll dance the night away. Oh, even when the music ends, honey, we'll just pretend that it was song. We don't need a reason to slow days, hold me so close in your arms. Till the night, till the dark, till the light of night is sweet, take my hand and we'll dance the night away. Take my hand and we'll dance the night away.
Thank you guys so much. We had people dancing in the back, and you didn't even know, but our hearts were like soaring. So that was like freaking really cute. Thank you guys for making our dreams come true. We take you with us everywhere. I know.
So this next song we're gonna do is off of our first record. It is kind of a signature song for Chloe and I. It was sort of, ooh, look at that product placement right there. So smooth. Yeah, so this song is just really just, I don't know, I guess Chloe and I, we must live in like this fantasy land. Because like the last song was like a fantasy of ours. This song was kind of us wanting to be inside Phantom of the Opera, and just like all of the drama that comes with that, and like velvet curtains and dungeons, and I mean, man, that opera house is beautiful. So yeah, this song is it's about that moment before a kiss that feels really like magical and nerve-wracking, then just like kiss me already. So it's called Kissing.
sabers are no match for the fire inside your heart. So hush now, my darling, call off your army. All the king's horses could keep us apart, but I feel you slip away every time we get close. When your inches from my face, so I know what you want. So kiss me like you do in the movie. Take your last breath, all you ever to me. You fought valiantly, but I'm stronger. You're defenseless out of armor. We can battle till we settle our scores. Or you could kiss me, kiss me. Oh, 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 oh. I know what you're feeling, and I know where it hurts, but all this resisting is making it worse. So give me your heart, lock it up, keep it safe from the other ones. With embrace their names and forget we're at war. So kiss me like they do in the movie. Take your last breath, all you ever surrendered to me. You fought valiantly, but I'm stronger. You're defenseless out of armor. We can battle till we settle our scores. Or you could kiss me, kiss me. Oh, 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 oh. It's killing me, wanting to see how that you peaceful. So kiss me like they do in the movies. Take your last breath, all you ever left surrendered to me. You fought valiantly, but I'm stronger. Your defenseless out of armor. We can battle till we settle our scores. Or you could kiss me, Alright, so earlier today, Taylor and I, we got to pop into Roosevelt Middle School. Woo-hoo! We got a few students in there from here today. It's really fun for us whenever we're traveling to be able to pop into schools, either middle schoolers or high schoolers, and talk to the students a little bit about what we do. Because I know I was really interested in music when I was that age, and it would have been fun for me to be able to see somebody around my age who is actually doing it and kind of learn a little bit about what it's like and the realities of it and how it's not all fame and fortune. But the fact that it is also reality. And so one time we were at this school, and one of the students asked us, you know, what's the most meaningful song that you've ever written, or what song are you most proud of writing? And this next song is that for me. This is a song that Taylor and I wrote together, and if you know anything about us, you know that Taylor is the main writer of our duo. She's been writing since she was a small child. She used to write novels at elementary school recess. She was super cool, clearly. But she would always, you know, try and convince me to write my own songs when I was like 13, and I wasn't angsty, I guess, and I didn't have anything to write about. And so I always get nervous, even now when she asks me to write with her, because I think she's really good at what she does. It's slightly intimidating. But I'm also equal parts of this duo, so I feel like I need to do my part. So we were sitting, and we were on tour, and we had a day off, and we were sitting in the room we were staying, and she asked me, you know, Chloe, you want to write a song today? And I was like, no. She's like, what else is new in this hour? I said, no, but I will. And she goes, okay, I'll take that as a yes. And so we sit down to write, and she asks me, first and foremost, what's been on your mind lately? And if I'm being honest, I wasn't in a very good place when she asked me that. I was dealing with a lot of things in my life personally with people that I love and I care about. Looking at what was going on, and it made me feel really heartbroken. And then, you know, you get on Facebook, you turn on the news, and it doesn't help. There's mass shooting after mass shooting, and the refugee crisis in full swing on the news, and war never ends. And I'm a highly emotional person, so this stuff was getting to me and really like making it hard for me to function on a day-to-day basis. It was just, it was heartbreaking. And so I remember looking over at Taylor after I kind of like had this rush of emotions and just looking at her and saying, you know, honestly, my days, they just feel like this constant struggle between looking at what's going on and saying, I have to be doing something about this. You know, I can't just sit back and let these things happen and not act. And then at the same time, I look at the exact same things and I think this is just so far out of my control. And looking back on that, I realized that that's actually a very healthy place to sit. Knowing that if nobody ever acts and nobody ever does anything, that we can't expect anything to change. But at the same time, we can't take the weight of the world's problems and place them on our own shoulders. We're not supposed to do this alone. So I finished this emotional rant to Taylor. She goes, okay. I said, see, that's what happens when you ask me these questions. You know that. And then she stops for a moment and gets this look in her eye, and I'm like, what? And she goes, I actually have started writing a song kind of like that. Would you like to finish it with me? And those are one of the moments that I'm super grateful for our sister telepathy. It's somewhat magical. And so we sat down, and it turned out a couple of verses, and then it took us 7 months to finish writing. So I don't know what happened. But yeah, like I said, I'm really proud of what we came up with, even if it took that long. We felt like we had a lot to say, and felt like we finally said it. So If any of you guys are fans of like a non-dualistic line of thinking, this song is for you. And if you have no idea what I just said, listen to the song, it'll make sense. But short version, non-duality is kind of the idea that things aren't as black and white as they seem, that there's a lot more room for the gray area. It's not us versus them. There's a lot more we. So this is a song called Always and Never Enough. Saw a light flash in the eyes of passers-by. There's a hope in hopelessness we can't deny. When you feel like giving up, take heart, we are stars and dust. We are always and never enough. In the early morning, I could smell the earth. Ooh, and I wondered if our hearts still beat for her. Do I like who I've become? Live for me or everyone? We are always and never enough. Saw the hurt and felt the sting of what I'd done. In a heart I'd only laced with good intention. Why does what I do in love never seem to measure up? We are always and never enough. Life is full of things we can't control. Ooh, but even when we can, sometimes we don't. It is neither either or, good or bad, right or wrong. We are always and never enough. There's a body of a boy washed on the shore, and a man without a home that I ignore. There's a war in me and a war out there. Close our eyes and doors to what we hear. Eyes that screams empty and put in lives while we sit safe inside our land of the free, home of the brave. A trail of tears runs through our history. America the Great, built on the backs of slaves, still have yet to right the wrongs we made.
we're making strides, we're losing lives, and we need to fight not one another for each other. Seem to shine see always never.
So, some of the songs that we have are off of our first EP called Unbridled, which some of you may or may not have, and the other ones are on this Things We Don't Talk About EP, which we just released this past July. It's really exciting for us. So we have both of those available. We also have a couple of t-shirts. Can you help me, please? This one was hand-lettered by an artist that we found on Instagram who lives in San Diego, and we were just mesmerized by his work, so we asked him to create this design for us. Then he became Instagram famous. That was kind of cool. And we're just back here as peasants while he just rises. But we have a shirt from him, so that's cool. This is one that I actually designed. I also like to watercolor in my spare time. People are always like, oh, like, what do you do when you're not playing music? I'm like, I'm at home watercoloring. I read and I sit in my room and I paint, drink tea, and if I had my cat, I'd be petting him. So, I live a very exciting and wild lifestyle, as you can tell.
And these are all like super, super soft shirts, and they're also they're ethically sourced and made and environmentally made. So if you're into either softness or ethics, you can buy our shirt.
One of those two.
Maybe both.
Some of you guys may have gotten an email about this show. Hopefully, if you were on our email list, you got an email about this show. If not, I have this iPad. You can sign up and get notifications when we're going to be back in the area. I'll pass this around. Actually, Chloe will help me with that as well. And if you don't want to know, just don't put your email in.
Or if you're already on there, you can just pass it along too, because I know where you are. So that's cool. Good job being in the know. Alright. So we're going to do a song, another one that we wrote together. Oh, so cute, Chloe's songwriting time. Okay. And this is the title track.
Life is full of things we can't control. Ooh, but even when There's a body of a boy washed on the shore, and a man without a home that I ignore. There's war in me and war out there. Close our eyes and doors to what we hear. Rises, screams, and bleed more than lives while we sit safe inside. Land of the free, home of the brave, a trail of tears runs through our history. America the great, built on the backs of slaves, still have yet to right the wrongs we made. We're making strides, but we're losing lives, and we need to fight not one another, for each other. God shine His grace on me, and call like the wind from sea to shining sea. So, some of the songs we have are off of our first EP called Unbridled, which some of you may or may not have, and the other ones are this Things We Don't Talk About EP, which we just released this past July. It's really exciting for us. So we have both of those available. We also have a couple of t-shirts. Can you help me with these? Yes. This one was hand-lettered by an artist that we found on Instagram who lives in San Diego, and we're just mesmerized by his work, so we asked him to create this design for us, and then he became Instagram famous. That was kind of and we're just back here as cousins while he just rises. I really thought we got the shirt from him, so that's cool. This is one that I actually designed. I also like to watercolor in my spare time. People are always like, oh, like, what are you doing? You're not playing music. I'm like, I'm at home watercoloring. I read
So if you're into either softness or ethics, you can buy our shirt. Those two, maybe both.
Some of you guys may have gotten an email about this show. Hopefully, if you're on our email list, you got an email about this show. If not, I have this iPad. You can sign up and get notifications when we're going to be back in the area. I'll pass this around. Actually, Chloe will help me with that as well. And if you don't want to know, just don't figure you know it.
Or if you're already on there, you can just pass it along too, so right you are. So that's cool. Good job, Ian. Alright. So we're gonna do a song, another one that we wrote together. Oh, so cute, Chloe's songwriting time. Okay. And this is the title track of our first record. And it's a song called Unbridled. Ready? Woo!
really like gets me going. I'm like, yes. It's so scary.
You're such a weirdo.
Alright, this next one is off of our album, Things We Don't Talk About. And it was really interesting when I sort of had this epiphany of this album. I was kind of going through my songwriting notebook and just started reminiscing over the songs that I had written recently. And I came across this song called Skeletons, and it had the line, there are things we don't talk about in it. And at that moment, when that line jumped out to me, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like everything that I've been writing about for like the past year. Usually there's like a pattern to stuff that's happening in your life, and that was when I sort of realized what mine was at the time. And I started to realize that there are a lot of different things, you know, in life that make us uncomfortable or that, you know, cause tension, that we just don't really want to bring up because we're afraid. And this next song we're going to do is one that kind of speaks to that. It's about having sort of like a silent argument with somebody else where you both know like that something is wrong between the two of you, but you're just avoiding it. And I think the thing about avoidance is that the longer you let it go on, the harder it is to actually face it. It's like standing at the edge of a pool, and the longer that you wait to jump in, the more you start thinking up reasons in your head not to ever jump in. So that's what this song is about, but it's also a song of hope. It's about saying, wow, like what are we doing here? This is so silly. Why are we letting this lack of communication eat away at a relationship that is so good? Like when we're good, we're good. So, this is a song that says, I hope we can get back to that place. I hope we can work through it and speak up and talk about this. So, it's called Forward. Your daughter, your game, your told, something's changed. We grow apart and rearrange the pieces of our hearts to say we can't move on, can't move on. But what for? Why are we living this cold war? Let's rebuild the city to its former glory days. Our hearts will sing hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Your it's late. I hear you call my name. It's far beyond what I can reach, but I will go the 1,000,000 miles between. 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 I will go the 1, want to live to just survive, come out on the other side. I'm saying, hearts on fire, steady iron, burning down, burning all to the ground. You want to keep fighting, what if why are we living in this cold war? Let's rebuild this city to its warmer glory days. Our hearts will sing hallelujah, hallelujah, Thank you guys so much. Thank you. All right. All right, so we have one more song, and then we'll take a quick break and come back and get in the holiday spirit for a little bit, and then let you guys be on your merry way. So this song is brand new, and it makes us a little scared to play in front of humans. Yes. So if you hate it, just remember all those other songs that baby liked. Yep, forget about this. Those in your heart. And hopefully we'll win you back for Christmas. Yeah.
This, it's really, really interesting for me. This song really was inspired by a lot of different things. But I would say in particular, it was, whoa, what was that? Is this on 3?
I hope you know, because I don't.
You talk, I'm gonna go look it up. So this song, it was really, really interesting for me. I think a mission of Chloe and mine is to always, speak on different injustices that are happening in the world. And if you guys follow us on social media, you guys might know that about us. When we see something, when we see people that are suffering or hurting, it's just not something that we really feel like we can just sort of step back from and just ignore it. We have to we feel like we have to use our platform to, raise awareness about different things. And that's kind of where this song stemmed from. It's interesting because when you do make those choices to do that, you do that knowing full well that some people might not like that, and that's perfectly okay. I'm really glad that there's an unfollow button on social media as well for people who feel that way. But it was interesting because, when we do that, sometimes you get comments from people saying stuff like, you girls should just really stick to singing and not really put your opinions out there at all. I would just prefer if you were quiet about that. So,
Which sometimes gets under our skin, it really does. But then we looked at ourselves and we looked at the level that we were at and we're like, well, we could just bow to that and just bow out of the game. Or we could sing the songs we want to sing and they don't like it and they can leave and someone else will like it and they'll jump on the train and we just gotta be real that we are.
yeah. And I really think, I think artistry throughout time has always been artists, whether it's photographers or painters or songwriters. We're deep observers. We take a look at what's happening in our world and we reflect that in the way that we create. And so I really hope that artists continue to do that and continue to be observant and thoughtful. We're always trying to be thoughtful with everything that we do. We don't just go off on tangents without being thoughtful about it. So with that, this is a song called Speak Out.
and I go backwards.